Hi everybody, Jo here again. How are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Lovely to come in and see you again. So come on in, make yourselves comfortable. We've got a nice little project today. I thought we'd use a stencil. We haven't used stencils for a while and I do love using them. And I thought we'd team it up with one of our other designs, the panel card design. And as you know, it's lovely to make panels, add ink, add some stamping. And this is the idea I've come up with. And it's using some of our lovely colours of the Ambience inks. And then I've just added a couple of leaves from one of our new sets. But it might be you don't want to add the leaves. Maybe add our little mini flutter, little butterfly on there. Or one of the sticker stencils. Again, totally up to you. Lots of different sentiments that could go well with this design. You could use it for so many different occasions. Do you know what? Even if you just want to have fun with your blending, I think it's just a lovely thing to try. Now, I know you like to know sizes, so this I'm going to start with an A5, just because I thought we would have some lovely blending. Now, again, I'm going to do my card portrait. You could, obviously, if you wanted, have your panel landscape. Totally up to you. And I've got some Lavinia low-tack tape here. Now, you can decide on the size of your panel. So I'm just going to use the grid on my lovely Lavinia mat here. And I'm thinking I'm going to put this up here. I want the panel sort of higher at the top. Mind you saying that, no two cards I ever make are ever the same. And then maybe, I think I'll go for that. So that's quite a nice, we've got a nice area there to have as the panel. And I'm just going to move my card this way a little bit because I'm going to bring my inks in. And the stencil I've gone for is this lovely one here called Ambience. Not used it for a while, so I thought it was about time I got this out. And the ink colours I'm going to use, excuse me for stretching right across you, we're going to start off with Lemon Drop. And I'm just going to put them on my mat and take the lids off so the lids are closest to me and put them in order I'm going to use them. And then I'm going to come in with Sahara. And then the blue is Blue Lagoon. And then I've got violet chalk to lead me into the Emperor Red. And I've got a size 9 brush for each of these colours. And I'm just putting them out on my craft mat. You probably won't see the Emperor Red, that's at the top. But they are there in order. And then I'm just going to put my stencil on. Now again, you can have a bit of a play where you want your stencil. I'm going to go for that there. Now again, you can tape your stencil down if you wish. I'm just going to hold mine. So I'm going to start with the yellow. And as always, I'm blending the ink in the lid. And I'm going to start with my yellow on the left-hand side. Now, it might be you want to do colour across, top to bottom. Like I say, so many fun ways of taking this. And I'm going to bring the yellow, say, I don't know, maybe a fifth of the way in. And then I'm going to move into the Sahara and again blend in the lid. Now a little tip for me, don't add your next colour on top of the end of the colour you've just added. Leave a bit of white card, then add your colour. Because when you've got most ink on your brush, it's going to be the darkest. And when you've got rid of some of that ink, then move it to blend it and it'll blend in better with the colour before. And then just, I'm going to go over that blend with the yellow. So my next colour's the blue again. So start further away. Just going to move my hand and then move in to that Sahara. And make sure you don't go over your masking tape. It might be you want to add a little bit more. And what I love about this is the blue blends beautiful with the Sahara to give a greeny tone. And then I'm going to come in with the purple. Now, I didn't want a deep purple, which is why I've gone for the violet chalk. If you want it very bright, you can add the flying fig. But I just want to come back in with the blue, just to blend those two. And then lastly, this beautiful red, which is a very It's a red. So I'm gingerly just going to start at the end, look, and then bring it in a little into that purple. Not coming far into the purple, but I'll come back over and just blend that. And I'm just going to lift the edge of this up. So, oh, yes, I like that. Yeah, happy with that. So if I lift this up, look at that. And I just love that blend of those colours, look. Look at the green, and we've not used a green. And I just think it's lovely to blend yourself almost some new colours of ink. I mean, we've got fabulous colours anyway, but there's so much more you can do with them. Now, I'm just going to put the lids on because it's important. I don't want to put my hand in any of that. Move the brushes away. But what I do want to do, look, is we've got that gorgeous ink on there. So I've got myself a spare piece of card. Get my water pot. Now, Eric is laid here fast asleep. And being a Labrador, he loves water. So let's just put that on there and just see what we get. Now, while that's just that water is activating that ink and it's soaking into that card, I'll show you the one I got when I did my original design. And do you know, I love this, the clean up, as much as I do the inking. Now, you could pop this in your journal ready as a page to start on, or that gives you another, I think, a sentiment here. And you know, you wouldn't need a lot else for that. Would you have it that way? I just love backgrounds like this. So let's see. If you're not sure how it's doing, just lift it up, look, and have a look. Now, I've not got as much on that one. Possibly didn't add as much water. But when that's dry, that'll still be enough to be a lovely starting point. So we'll give that a wipe. In fact, I'll clean that up as well. Always good to keep the stencils clean. Now, Lavinia low tack tape, fabulous. Just look at that, peels off beautifully. And it's up to you. On my original, I left the border here, nice and plain. But on this one, I'm just going to add my black fine liner. And it's up to you. You can do a straight line if you want to use a ruler. I'm just going to do two sort of wavy lines. And again, just don't think about it too much. And because they're wavy, then they're just meant to be wavy, so it doesn't matter how they are. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and this is from the Heartfelt Verses. And I thought just for you was a lovely sentiment that could be used for so many different occasions. And I'm just going to pop this on the right hand here. And then underneath it, I've got, so we had two lovely sets of leaves. And this is the white oak leaves. And we've also got the red oak leaves. And there's three on this set, so I'm going for the larger one. And I'm just going to stamp that. I like the shape of this, and it's a silhouette, so I'll give the ink a minute to soak in, and I love the way it looks like there's movement there. Now, the others, I could stamp them direct on the design, but what I'm going to do is just stamp them on. I save every little scrap of card, and I'm sure you're the same. And I'm going to stamp quite a few like that and then cut them out. But the beauty of it is, you'll be glad to know I've cut some out already, look. So I've got the three, so I can decide how many I want to use. And I just think I want a bit more sort of the shape flowing. So maybe I'll go for quite like that, because they're not the same way. Or do I have that? No, I quite like that one for this one. So because I've cut the little stem off, I'm just going to black fine liner, draw that on. And then with my bippity boppity glue, now you could stamp these direct, but I just wanted to decoupage these. Now again, if you're not good at cutting out, you could maybe use our stickers. To be honest, I just wanted an excuse to use these new leaves because I haven't used them yet. And I felt very bad that I hadn't used them. Do that. You know, if you buy a new stamp and then you don't use it, although if you're anything like me, you're very eager to use them. So I've just added some little lines so it looks like my leaves are falling. And then lastly, I just wanted to add some splatters. Now, normally I would add my Posca splatters, but I wasn't sure which colour to go for. So what I decided I'd do is add some ink splatters. And I've gone for the lemon drop and the blue lagoon. So all I'm going to do is put some lemon drop on my mat there, look. And I'm starting with the yellow because obviously it's the lighter colour. And I'm just going to add just across here. Now, if you're not into your splatters, you know, leave them off. We're not all the same and it's fine. And that's what makes our cards. That's why we make cards, isn't it? So we can all be different. We can all be unique. So I'm going to add some of the blue. And I'm hoping we may just get a hint of green where some of the splatters will just mix. I don't want to add too many. Don't want to overcook it, do I? Right, stop, missus. You said you weren't going to overcook that. So let's clean that up. Now, I think these will be fabulous to batch card make. And think of all your different stencils. But look at that. I just think that's beautiful. And those little splatters. Now, when I was having a play, you know what I'm like, I was thinking of other things I could use. And I thought about my sticker stencils. So, look at this. I had a play, and that's using the butterfly look off the set 4. So, there are so many different shapes there. Just think, you could then do this blending through a sticker stencil. So again, that's another play you can have. Introduce your sticker stencils. So we've got so much there that you can have fun with. I'm going to put that over that one because this is wet. And so I don't want to put it on there, do I? I've got to be mindful. And again, if you choose your colours, I mean, I think this would make a great card for a man's card. And like I say, think of the different things you could have here. So I'm going to leave that with you. That's a bit of homework for you. Because I know some of you, Mr. Mojo's gone. He's packed his bags and gone on holiday and not come back. Holiday romance, I think. So entice him back. Maybe have a go at this design. Different size panels. Maybe have 2 panels, 3 panels. Go on, push the boat out. You just have fun and please share. I can't wait to see what you make. Maybe put the design on a tag. Then you can join in with our Tag Tuesday. See, more homework for you. Anyway, I'd better go. Eric's woken up. I think he wants a walk. I'll see you again tomorrow. Love and hugs from me. Bye for now.